lives in me. He watches over everything we see. Song go hard. Okay, so we're good here. But now I want to see if I can't get a vertical going. So and her voice and the soul of a child calling, oh, 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 mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. I kind of don't feel like trying to figure it out right now. He lives in me. He watches over. You know what else I wanted to see if I could do? Is add the topics into the stream here. But do I have the same font? Hey guys. What's up? So this is Blink twice. What is that? I don't have that font here on this. But I have this. So I could always do this. Okay. So let's say I do that. I'll work on this while we look for debates. Hi, guys. Welcome in YouTube. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. We are here to debate. My name is Jovan. I am a leftist who debates conservatives and thinks that they're kind of really dumb. We are debating here. We are chilling like a villain in a debate, killing with Krillin on my spillins with Dylan. Anyway, if you want to debate, we have a couple of topics on the board. Topic 1, trans men and women are men and women because duh. Topic 2, gender affirming care for minors because duh. Topic 3, the Christian God is evil and not real. Topic 4, MAGA and Trump are terrible. Topic 5, pro-choice. And topic 6, the right's hypocrisy after Kirk's death is an embarrassment. Those are our topics on the board today. I'm trying to adjust some things. What I want to do is put that there, take this. Now, for some reason, it's not all showing up. Oh, wait. There we go. No, still nothing. Still not all showing up. Let me just see if I can't add this in somehow. Oh no. Yeah, see, why is that? Not all oh God, stop. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, if I do it like this, okay, and I go here, okay, and I change this to this, okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Let me open the call lines. I think I've got this like somewhat figured out. Wait, I just want to make sure this works. Golly. How does that look, chat? YouTube, Twitch chat. I'm asking specifically. What I can actually do is I can put this like this. I don't think it's doing what I want it to do. Yeah, I don't think it's doing what I want it to do just yet. We'll figure it out at a different time. It's not doing what I want. It's not like giving me what I want it to give me. I will try to figure that out later. Anyway, if anybody wants to debate me, call-in line's open now. I know I was sitting here quiet. I was like trying to do something. But don't worry. We're not doing it anymore. If you want to debate, come on, get your debate. Come on, put your hands. What? What did I mention a few days ago? Is Twitch more important than YouTube? Twitch chat is. Like, Twitch chat is more important usually. Who's going to be our first contestant on Come Debate Me? I don't know. Oh shit, my headphones are dying. Swear to God, these things do not hold a charge anymore. What does hypocrisy mean? Is that that's a joke, right? I am praying for you. Jesus is the way, bro. Find him. If Jesus was the way, I wouldn't have to find him. He would just appear. And he didn't, so fuck him. Why didn't Jesus come get me himself? Like, damn. Homie wants me to do the work? No, thanks. Yeah, I don't know how to also run a horizontal live at the same time. How do I do it? I don't know. Like, do I have to schedule it and then run it off the scheduled one to run it at the same time? Because I have a horizontal one here. Like, if I... Oh? What's happening? Why can't I hear this? Someone was calling and I couldn't hear it. Did something happen on my... No, it didn't. Why can't I hear this? Hold on. Oh, I can. Okay, so then something weird is just happening. Okay. Anyway, call in if you want to debate. Have you seen the Kirk doxing site? Yeah, I hope I'm on it. I also just, like I said, it's hypocrite. It's so like, it's such a hypocrisy coming from the right to be like, we love free speech until you say stuff we don't like. Then we don't like free speech. Then it's like, oh no, don't do that. Like the thing that like gets to me, when it's about it too, is the right is like, well, because you did this, we're gonna do this now. Ha ha ha. I'm like, so your ideals are not hard fast. You're willing to change the entirety of what you claim to be about because someone made you angry. So this whole time when you've said we've really cared about this, it's been a lie. Because the minute something happens that you don't like, you change your entire belief system. It's embarrassing. I don't change my belief system because one person pisses me off. You know? That's not how beliefs should work, bro. Like, high key, that's not how belief systems should work. If you believe something, hold fast to that belief. Don't change the shit. Your rabbit ears should be embarrassing. They're cat ears, first of all. Learn your animals. So yeah, to me it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing watching the right lose their minds about political violence and be like, oh, guys, political violence is bad, even though they've been doing political violence for the entirety of their existence. Conservative political ideology can only exist with political violence. It can't exist without it. It's physically impossible. It's impossible. What do you think about what's happening with Dean and his flip-flopping takes? I think Dean responded like somebody who's not at risk by this administration, and I don't have anything more to say about it. Right? I think Dean reacted like somebody who's not a part of a marginalized group. I've played Project Zomboid. I don't really like it. Oh yeah, guys, it's okay if you can't Cash App. I understand a lot of people don't have the funds to donate to the streamers that they watch. It's okay. As long as just watching the chat helps. Just watching the stream helps. Don't worry if you can't afford to Cash App. It's totally fine. And he's reported. I reported you. I did my civic duty and reported you. Because again, these people don't care about a free exchange of ideas. They lauded Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk was this debate bro. And the minute they see somebody debating that they don't like, then they get all pissed off. Okay, so leave. Eat my ass. I don't care. Leave. It's so embarrassing, dude. How's the chair fund going? I mean, I can get a new chair just like when I get paid this month. It's just how much do I want to spend? Oh yeah, I moved everything here. Hello, are you here to debate?
No, I'm a fan of yours. This is Javon, right?
It is, yeah. Give me a second, though. Somebody just asked a question in chat. Someone said, can you please name a time that the right has done any violence in protest or violence politically? I can't believe this is where we're at in U.S. politics. Can I name a time where the right has done some level of political violence? I wonder, chat, I wonder when the right has engaged in political violence. Oh, man, bro. Definitely didn't happen on January 6th, 2021. Definitely. What are we all talking about? Who would have guessed it? Oh, my God. Anyway, caller, what's up? What's your name, age, and pronouns, please?
My age is 32. My name is Danzel, and my pronouns is he, him.
All right, you said Danzel?
Yes.
All right, Danzel, what did you call to talk about today?
Oh, well, you kind of hit the nail on the head with that point about the right, pretending that they're not violent. I mean, like, 2 white supremacists shoot up predominantly black areas. I mean, like, that hit me pretty hard. I hate seeing my people still suffer, like they have been over the years. But we've been through a lot. It hasn't been easy for me personally. I have a lot of anger towards the right wing.
Understandable.
I mean, I still, unlike, they teach their kids how to shoot guns. I don't own a gun. I've never even promoted violence unless it was, absolutely necessary. And yet, yeah, but like, make no mistake, I can't stand them. I really can't.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I am surprised I'm an old head, man. I don't watch streams much, man. I'm a freaking boomer. I mean, I'm 32, but I'm a boomer. I'm not big on social media and whatnot. I am surprised I'm talking to you. Holy shit, I actually got him. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Well, yeah. Thank you for calling in. I do want to make sure the line is open a bit for debaters, but thank you for watching. Thank you for calling in.
All right. It's good to hear from you, man. I'll leave you alone so you can do your show. Love you.
All right. Thank you. You have a great rest of your day.
As well. Bye.
Oh, yeah. I have to keep remembering that I don't go over here for my buttons now. I go to this stream deck. Somebody said a poll came out that the right is more opposed to political violence. That's because the right doesn't know what political violence is. That's why they're more opposed to it. The right thinks political violence is just when you hurt somebody. They don't recognize that their policies are also politically violent. So of course they're going to say, of course they're going to be like, we don't support political violence, except they do by just voting for right-leaning policies. That is political violence. Removing people's SNAP and Medicaid benefits, political violence. Shutting down Planned Parenthood and removing people's right to abortion, political violence. You guys just don't know what political violence is. You think political violence is just when somebody gets hurt. Or you think political violence is when somebody gets hurt in like a specific way. You don't recognize that when someone gets hurt due to a political thing, whether it's a specific action or a policy, that is all encompassing of political violence. So it makes sense that conservatives will be like, we're against political violence. We're against it. Yeah, because you don't know what it is. Come on, this isn't a hard one. I know what political violence is. So when I say I'm against political violence, I'm against it in all. I'm against policies that purposely harm anybody. Like, quite literally. It's my whole thing, actually. I don't know if you know this, but my whole thing is that I'm against policies that harm people. What? Jovan's against policies that harm people? Who would have guessed? Who would have figured that one out? I want to give a quick thank you. Let's do a quick shout out to MM for thank you for the $20 Venmo. MM said, I used your sources document the other day to help educate/destroy someone who was attacking a young trans TikToker. Thank you. MM, thank you for the Venmo. I'm writing you a quick thank you note here on my whiteboard. There is your quick thank you note. Thank you, MM. Thank you so much for the Venmo. Remember, all tips, while appreciated, are never required, and tips do go towards our goals for the day. If we hit $200 on Super Chats and YouTube, I do give YouTube a giveaway of merch. If we hit $200 on Twitch via either Cash Apps, Venmos, or PayPals, I do the same for them. So shout out to that. Love you so much for supporting the stream. Remember, tips are appreciated, never required. Let's open the call-in line again, see if we can't get any more people to call in and debate. And can we get WMM in the chat for the tip? Thank you, MM. Also, remember, if you want to make sure that I answer your question, or if you send a super chat on YouTube, I will answer your question because I read all super chats. Can we talk about the 2 lynchings in Mississippi? We're going over that this weekend on the dump. So on the weekly dump, we're going to go over those the 2 lynchings. I haven't been able to sit and actually research what has happened yet. But we are going to go over those 2 instances on the dump this week. So that's Sunday. Should be at around 1 p.m. Might be 12. I don't remember. I'm going to figure out what time we want to start for the dump this month. But be prepared. We're going to be doing that this week. Should be fun.
Thank you, boo.
Zach, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Zach, for the super chat, friend. Make sure that your super chat gets shown for a nice hey, thank you so much. Call-in lines are open for anyone that wishes to debate. Don't be scared. Right-leaning people are fucking terrified. Don't be scared, bro. Stop. This is again what I'm talking about. The right wanted to consistently prop up Charlie Kirk and be like, he's just debating. Look at him taking the debates to the street, but then they're afraid to do the same fucking thing. Do I get 100% of the super chats? I think YouTube takes a cut. I don't know what it is. But thank you for the super chat, Sarah Connor. If you ever want to make sure I get 100% of what you guys are tipping, Cash App, Venmo, things like that. But I don't mind if YouTube is taking their YouTube cut. But yeah, this nonsense. Also, the idea that Charlie Kirk invented debate is so weird. They're like, Charlie Kirk was debate has always existed, dude. Do I deny that Charlie Kirk was able to pull in a crowd? Absolutely not. He was absolutely able to pull in a crowd. But the man didn't develop debates. He didn't invent debates. He didn't do any of that. Actually, so content ideas I have, it's sitting down and developing the time to do them. I have a bunch of videos I need to do. I need to do my sitcom blackface video. I need to do my ride everything at Disney video to see if I can't to see if it's worth it. Is Disney worth it if you do everything at the property? And that video is tied into a larger video about how Disney has gone down the drain with how expensive it's gotten. So I'm doing a whole video on Disney and how they used to be a lot more pro-consumer and how that's sort of changed as time went on. That one's long because there's a lot of research I've been doing. So that's a longer video. I need to do I'm going to do a video series about about starting a retro game collection. So I'm doing a whole series about that. I need to do my McCarthyism video, but I'm waiting for the second Wicked to come out because my McCarthyism video is tied into Wicked. So I've written the first half of it, and the second I have to wait. Can't write the second half until the second Wicked movie comes out. So I'm working on a lot of videos. It's just I have to have the time to sit down, write them, record them, edit them, all that jazz. Hello, are you here to debate? Guess not. Someone said, you're a political grifter and you're clearly focused on purely profit-based grifting. Except no, because I put out tons of content for free. The fuck are you talking about? I held these same ideals when I was dirt poor. I'm not backed by any major corporation, none of that. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Hello, are you here to debate?
Yeah. How are you?
Chillin'. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns, please?
My name's Diego. I'm 20 years old, and I guess he, him.
You guess. If you prefer a different one, I'll call you something else.
No, I just never. For my first time ever saying that.
Okay, no
But
problem.
I'll be respectful.
I'll be gentle. Don't
Since you
worry.
asked.
Can you just provide? Or you provide? Can you tell me what topic on the board you want to debate about?
I guess the right's hypocrisy. I
Okay.
went into. I guess. Could you start off by what you mean by hypocrisy?
Yeah. The right claims. The right claims to care about free speech, except they don't actually care about free speech because the minute somebody says something they don't like, they crash out and they want to get people. You know, they hate cancel culture, but now they're here. They want to cancel people. They want to get people fired for making jokes or for celebrating Kirk's death, neither of which are crimes. They just don't actually care about free speech. The other part of it is they want to claim that their party is a party of peace, but ignore all the violent messaging or the calls for violence or just blatant things that their own party and people in their party have done or said that contradicts their whole we need peace, right? The right doesn't care about peace. They've actively bred a culture of violence around their political party, and they want to shield themselves from that and claim that they haven't.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just take a second to take that in. All right. So first off, with the I want to lay my position first off. Okay.
Okay.
With regards of the cancellation of like people losing their jobs from I would say it was the posting of celebration videos of his death, right? I agree with the sentiment that I've heard from people on the left, where you have freedom of speech, but you're not free from the consequences. But where I disagree is, so where people say that, I don't know if you believe it, so I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not putting these words in your mouth, but I've heard other people say that in the context of celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, that he had the right to say his opinion, but he is not free from the consequences that someone then shot him, you know.
Yeah, my only response to that would be this is against everything the right has claimed for forever. The right has claimed to be free speech absolutists. They've claimed that you should be allowed to say anything. When they make, for instance, when the right makes jokes that might be racist or homophobic or anything like this, they go, it doesn't matter. None of that. Like, we can take a direct examples. The right did not want Shiloh Hendricks to face any repercussions for calling that little boy the N-word on camera, because they said she should be able to. It's free speech. The right raised what was it, like some ridiculous, like almost $1 million was it for her, because they thought, hey, you should be able to say whatever you want. But then you have people who might make a joke about Charlie Kirk, and they're like, no, you need to lose your job. It's hypocritical. It's hypocritical. Now, if the right had always said, you know, if they had always been in the camp of you shouldn't make certain types of jokes, or some things are off limits, or it's okay to get people canceled or fired, and they did that, hey, I wouldn't call them hypocritical for that. But they have never been that way. This is brand new.
Me personally, I believe free speech absolutism is a dumb concept, and that there are some, you know, there are definitely things that you should get in trouble for, like, I guess, Colin Milquetoast thing is that you don't say, fire and credit theater, as it can create panic and then other stuff. But I think the more nuanced thing of the Shiloh Hendrix thing is that it was in response to like what was that guy? What was that kid's name again in Texas?
I don't know.
Here, give me 1 second. Carmelo Anthony.
What
Do
about
you remember? No, I'm not saying I agree with the with whatever happened on both sides, but I feel like that was more in response to all the funding and support Carmelo Anthony received by people on the left.
You recognize that's a little silly, right?
I do recognize that it's a little silly, but I just
Okay.
to put that out there.
So I don't think that doesn't show the right is hypocritical. Like I said, if you have a belief and the right had a belief, like this is what the right's platform has been for forever, and your belief is, you need to be able to say whatever you want to say, and you shouldn't cancel people. You shouldn't, like, the right has been claiming to be anti-cancel culture for forever. And now they're going, well, we're okay with cancel culture because the left did X. Then they were always okay with cancel culture. It just wasn't until it was something they wanted to cancel.
Well, I don't agree with people who contact their employers about this, but I do believe that if their company does see this and then they want to go into take action to this, then that's their prerogative as a business.
Yeah, if a business wants to fire somebody because they said something they don't like, sure. I like, that's the business's decision. I'm saying when you as a person who claim to be on the right scroll through your Twitter feed and you see a post you don't like, and then you decide, I'm going to send this to the person's job because they're making a joke, or even worse, because they're celebrating Kirk's death. Because, like, who gives a shit if somebody is celebrating somebody else's death when the right, again, glorifies and celebrates violence all the time, right? This is hypocritical. This is the definition of hypocritical.
Hold on. I'm not too familiar with what you're talking about. Could you give an example?
Of what?
Of the right celebrating a death.
The right celebrates violence all the time. Look at how much what they did when it came to Alligator Alcatraz. People took pictures. Nancy Mace on Twitter was like, "Oh, looks like alligators have, what was it, like 600 more alligators are going to get fed now." Right? Literally saying that, like, "Oh, we're going to feed people in Alligator Alcatraz to the gators." Like, this is celebrating political violence. Donald Trump made it a tweet using AI of him dropping napalm bombs on Chicago and said Chicago's going to learn why we call it the Department of War. This is the right leaning side of the internet lost their minds. They loved this picture. They thought this was the greatest thing they'd ever seen. That is glorifying and celebrating violence. They love to do it.
Don't you think those are more like ironic and more like humorous?
No, I don't think a president saying that he's going to, like, posting a picture of him dropping bombs on a city in the United States I don't think it's a joke. I don't think any sitting politician should be doing that. And people that see that and celebrate this and go, "This is great. I love this. This is amazing." That's political. Yeah. That's glorifying violence. I mean, and listen, it would be one thing if the right wasn't sitting here claiming to be the side of peace. Then I would say, okay, they're not being hypocritical, but they are, which makes them hypocrites.
But wait, okay, 2 points. I agree with you. I think Mr. Trump has been off his rockers, doing all that stuff, and I definitely, I at this point, I don't agree with him. Second, has the right ever claimed to be? I more think of party of peace coming from the left than the right.
You think you said say that last part again?
As the left as like claims to be the party of peace more so than the right.
You think the left claims to be the party of peace more so than the right? I don't. I personally don't think the left claims to be a party of peace. I think the left, at least when we're looking at the political establishment in the United States, the left absolutely calls for unity and makes calls to end violence way more than the right does. I mean, again, look at the reaction to what happened to Charlie Kirk. Every prominent figure on the left, like almost every politician, every major political pundit, all of those people said, we need to end political violence. We need to unify. We need to stop. This is never okay. Whereas the response from almost everybody on the right was calling for basically a war with the left.
Mm-hmm.
The president made a video, which I'm still not sure it was not AI, basically going, we're going after the left now. You've done it, guys. We're going after the left. We're not going to let anybody get past this, right? Where the left is going, hey, you shouldn't do that. Right? Like, so I don't see a hypocrisy here when, again, all of our direct examples are vastly different.
But like everyone on the left that, you know, is not like has a position that they could lose. I mean, there were some people on the left that, you know, celebrated it and then they lost their position in whatever media company they held. Like that one guy at MSNBC.
Wait, the guy at MSNBC you're talking about the guy that got fired for what he said, right?
Yeah.
What did he say that was wrong?
I think it was like it was pretty blatant like misinformation.
First of all, if we're saying that people should be fired for blatant misinformation, why is anyone still working at Fox News? But like, what did all he specifically said was that it was Matthew Dowd. What he specifically said was that Kirk was a divisive figure. He said, and I quote, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. All of this is correct. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words. That's true, which then lead to hateful actions. Mm-hmm. Also true. And I think that is the environment we are in. You can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place. And that's the unfortunate environment we are in. That's the quote that got him fired. What did he say that was wrong?
Was it not the quote? Wait, is that the quote that got him fired? I thought it was we don't know if it was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, so we have no idea about this.
No, because he said we don't know. He said we don't know what was that. No, what got him fired was that specific quote. The one that I said.
All right, I guess I'm wrong. Okay, I'll take that I'm wrong.
Which is just, but again, we're going to sit here and talk about MSNBC. A Fox News political host, like a day later, said we should kill homeless people. We should forcefully euthanize homeless people. And he got a slap on the wrist and just had to apologize. So again, it's completely hypocritical. It's completely hypocritical coming from the right.
Hold on. You just give me 1 second. I haven't heard about that.
I can play it for you if you want to hear it.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
I'll play it for chat just so chat can hear it.
All right.
Chat might not have.
Yeah, no, I can't listen to your stream while I'm on call. So.
It's okay. You should be able to hear it through my microphone.
All right.
Wait 1 second. Make sure that's all set up. Okay, let me find the video. I don't need fucking 4 hours of it, guys. Can you a 4-minute thing? I just want that clip. Like, why do we need a 4 minutes?
Involuntary lethal.
Here it is.
Or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now. Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Like, what? That's insane, dude. It's insane that we're firing an MSNBC host for saying, hey, what Charlie Kirk was he was a divisive figure. This is true. When you spread hate, it leads to violence. This is also true. And then go, but this Fox News host, slap on the wrist for saying we need to kill homeless people. Saying we need to forcibly euthanize homeless people is a slap on the wrist. Just apologize. This is what I'm talking about. The right is completely, and personally, I just think the right is hypocritical in almost everything they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is definitely not good.
Nope.
I will say that.
It's why he had to come out and apologize for it. And I had to be like, oh, I'm sorry I said that, guys. It's not going to change my views on it. I'm going to keep spouting hate on Fox News for all the world to see. But, and Fox News, and like, listen, I do believe journalists should be held to a much fucking higher ethical standard than like almost any other profession, right? Because they are supposed to be giving people news. They're supposed to, like, there should be some ethical standards you need to maintain if you're a journalist. But Fox News has been literally caught lying multiple times. They lost a almost, was it billions of dollars to Dominion because they lied about their voting machines, and in a court of law were found to have lied about their voting machines. Like, they fired Tucker Carlson over this. Like, Tucker Carlson, who literally admitted, or maybe not admitted, but in court was found to have been lying to his viewers on air because he didn't believe half the shit he was actually saying. He just said it because he had to, because he worked for Fox News. And listen, I don't think that the left, like, I don't think CNN is devoid from this either. All major news organizations that aren't independent and succumb to large donors are going to be like in this same boat. But like, let's not be. This is what I'm just saying. Let's not be hypocritical. Like the right needs to not be hypocritical about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't watch mainstream media because I think they're all incredibly misleading. They perpetuate misinformation, and their only main goal is to like get clicks and generate revenue. I mean, they're all controlled by the same conglomerate anyways, aren't they?
You also just described Charlie Kirk to a T, right? His main goal was to generate clicks, right? Was to generate clicks off his content. He said incorrect things all the time. And instead of allowing himself to get fact checked or do any of this, he would just like start over talking people and kick them out of line when they did. He did it all the time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying I was the biggest fan of Charlie Kirk because I didn't particularly like his debating style. But
no, it was terrible.
He had been killed for it? No.
But this is the thing. Charlie Kirk wasn't killed because of like his opinions, right? I want to be very clear that I disagree with this stance where people are like, well, Charlie Kirk was killed for having opinions. No, he was a person who was actively engaged in radicalizing a large group of people to right-leaning ultra-nationalist, in my opinion, very white supremacist thinking. And this was leading to direct violence against a lot of different groups of people. Now, do I believe this is why he was killed by this specific person? No, I don't know. It's a little weird to me that people keep speculating why the guy did what he did when he's fucking alive. Go ask him. Like, I don't want to hear that he did it because his family members said he leaned right. I don't want to hear, like, just ask the fucking dude. He's still alive. Like, why are we not just asking the motherfucker who killed him why he killed him? But for me, when I look at when I look at what Charlie Kirk was doing, right? He's not just somebody online debating, right? He's actively building and leading a large political movement. And when you are the head of a large political movement, you put yourself at risk. You just do. If Charlie Kirk was even an Andrew Wilson type, where he just debates people online and he does Charlie Kirk, I don't think he would have been at risk as he was what he was doing. But the idea that he was just killed for sharing an opinion is, I just think, like, grossly mischaracterizes like what actually
But
happened.
you
And how
do
it led
believe
up to
he
this.
was. Do you believe he was killed for political motivation?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think if anybody said that he wasn't killed for political motives, like, that would be crazy. The only way that it would show me if he didn't is if the killer comes out and was like, "Oh no, Charlie Kirk fucked my wife." Then I would be like, "Oh, okay, he wasn't killed for political motives." But I think I mean, the dude wrote "Hey fascist, catch" on a bullet casing, right?
Yeah.
I think to claim that it wasn't politically motivated would be a lie. My whole thing is, the whole point of the topic on the board, though, is just the I think there is a large hypocrisy between the way the right views political violence and engages with political violence, and what they say is the way they view political violence and engage with political violence.
Okay. I'm going to concede on this point about the MSNBC point, and then since you brought up the other thing, which I don't agree with. But what is your stance on? I've heard the opinion out there about, like, why wasn't the right so vocal about the Democratic lawmaker as they are with Charlie Kirk? Or, like, why isn't the media so, like, why is this a bigger story than that was?
I think two things can be true. One, I don't really talk about, like, when stories are bigger than the others, because, like, it makes sense to me that the Kirk story is bigger than that one because Charlie Kirk had a larger reach, a larger following, things like that. Makes total sense why the Charlie Kirk story is bigger. I do think the right had a really fucked reaction. Like, when Donald Trump was asked if he would call the governor of was it Minnesota? I don't remember, where the Democratic lawmaker and her husband and dog were killed. But when Donald Trump was asked if he'd call the governor of that state, he was like, "No, why would I?" He's like, "Why would I call him? I don't care." Right? I think that's a gross difference in the way he handles this. I think lowering the flags to half-mast for Charlie, but not lowering them to half-mast for somebody who was actually elected into political office in the country, shows a glaring hypocrisy, right?
Yes, I will agree with that. The administration currently is very there's a lot of bias in the administration right now. But I'm more, when I think of left versus right, I think of more of the populace than the administration. In this sense,
You think it's what?
like, I think of more of the populace, like the people, rather than the politicians.
Well, I mean, the right made jokes about it on Twitter, right? Which, again, I'm not demolishing. I don't really care if somebody makes a joke when somebody else dies, right? I don't really give a shit because it doesn't affect me in the larger run, or affect or affect, in my opinion, the larger vein of politics. But the right did also make jokes.
I mean, they made jokes, right? But did they celebrate the death?
I don't think they celebrated because they didn't know who this person was. They didn't know who they were, so they don't have anything to celebrate. People knew who Charlie Kirk was, and Charlie Kirk actively went out of his way to push for policies or political change that would affect people from certain groups. So it doesn't shock me if people from that group are happy he's gone. Like, that doesn't shock me. Like, if they want to, like, it would be like, they want to celebrate his death. Okay, cool. You know, I've celebrated people's deaths before. When what's her name? Hold on. What's her name? Carolyn Bryant. When Carolyn Bryant died, I was so fucking happy. I was overjoyed. I wanted to throw a fucking party when she died. When she finally kicked the bucket, I was the most happy. I would have launched fireworks. Right? I think it's like celebrating somebody when somebody bad dies, or somebody who's directly affected you or a group you're a part of dies, and you're happy about it and celebrate, I don't think that's a fucking big deal, right? I mean, we threw literal parties in the street when Hitler died, right? You're not going to sit here and go like, well, Hitler was still a person.
I'm not going to say Hitler was still a person.
Exactly.
But I feel like there's a difference between people who directly committed violence versus I mean, I don't even agree with this, but say indirect.
I would argue that Charlie Kirk is directly responsible for a lot of political violence. Whether you agree with that or not, I would make that claim that Charlie Kirk is directly responsible for this. When Charlie Kirk goes on to his platform of thousands of people and spreads a lie such as black people were better off financially in the 40s and 50s, which is fundamentally untrue in almost every fucking metric of the word. Like in every metric we look at is fundamentally untrue. When Charlie Kirk espouses this talking point, and then the thousands of people watching him then go and reiterate this talking point all over the internet, they now shape their political views around this talking point. This is directly leading to some level of political violence. If people use this talking point to vote against what would be the best interests of a minority group, if people use these talking points to go and demonize black people, because the whole reason of this talking point is to be like, well, look, the issues with black people is a cultural issue, and this cultural issue has developed over years and years and years because it didn't used to be like this. Look at how great black families used to be. Look how better off they used to be during the fucking civil rights and segregation. When you use this and people then go out and repeat this and start to normalize these beliefs, I would call this a direct action of political violence.
I'm sorry, but could you point me in the direction to where I can find that? Because I'm not able to find
When he said that all the time.
Yeah, all the time. But
anytime that he started talking about like why, anytime he had a debate about systemic racism, this was one of his key talking points, to say that it didn't exist or doesn't exist. Here, let me pull it directly up.
I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he...
No, that's the black pilot thing. Oh, did he say it on that Jubilee episode, you guys? He might have said it on the Jubilee episode.
1940s. It was bad. It was evil. It shows they were actually better in the 1940s.
Yeah,
it was bad. It was evil. But what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000.
Yeah, he said black people were better off in the 1940s.
It shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad. It was evil. But what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs.
If that's your explanation, but I guess
racial terror permeated American culture.
And then here he is, literally doing his debate topic, which is, I'm going to ask you a question, and when you go to answer that question, if you give me an answer that is comprehensive and is something I don't want to hear, I'm going to change the topic, and I'm going to shift what we're talking about. Like, this is Charlie Kirk's MO. Only was terrible at debate. But yeah, this is political. Like, this is directly leads to political violence. It directly leads to violence in a broad sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think he should have been killed? Probably not. I don't care one way or the other, but like, yeah, probably shouldn't have been assassinated for it. Would I have been much happier had he died of natural causes? Probably. But like, I think to sit here and be like, well, Charlie Kirk was this, just wanted the free exchange of ideas and all that. He outwardly spouted things that were factually incorrect, that you can find out were factually incorrect with one Google search. So either Charlie Kirk lied constantly, or he was too stupid to use Google. And Charlie Kirk wasn't stupid. So the only thing I can figure out is that he lied. And if you are purposely and willfully lying to a group of people that large to spread a political ideology, that's violence. It might not be as violent as getting shot in the neck, but it's still violence.
Mm-hmm. I guess I just don't have the same definition of violence as you do. I mean, because I don't really think of violence as like direct.
I don't know how you, I mean, if you're saying violence is only when someone directly like causes you physical harm or something, then that's just like, I don't know. I think this is just the most, I mean, I guess it's a very conservative way of viewing violence, but I view violence as anything really that can negatively impact a large group. Well, not large, when we're talking political violence, anything that can negatively impact like a large group of people, or like, you know, directly targeting a group for some aspect of political gain or something like that. Like I would view political violence in that realm, not just as like somebody who gets physically hurt, right?
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I just think of it as more of like either your words like call for violence, like as someone says like someone should take out that person, than rather of just like.
Well, let me ask you a question about this then. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because it's been admitted by Republican politicians that they absolutely engaged with the Southern strategy, right? Now, the Southern strategy was not an outward call for violence against Black people, right? Lee Atwater admitted that he got Nixon elected, not Nixon, Reagan. Who did Lee Atwater help get elected? It was either he worked with both of them, but who specifically was he like the presidential advisor for? I think it was Nixon, or was it Reagan? I don't remember. It was one of those two guys.
Reagan,
thank you. Yeah, it was Reagan. Thank you so much. He was fucking paramount in getting Reagan elected. He's admitted on tape to people that Lee Atwater and Reagan and the entirety of the Republican administration adopted the Southern strategy. The Southern strategy was not an outward call for violence against Black people, right? It was, however, a inward call where they said we are going to pass policies that will harm Black people without saying outwardly that they harm Black people, by focusing on the disparities that we see. It's like when they said we're gonna give you 5 years for smoking crack. We're gonna give you 5 years for doing coke, but we're gonna give you like 50 years for doing crack, even though they're essentially the same goddamn drug. It was because they saw that Black people predominantly used crack and that white people predominantly used coke. So they charged these crimes differently, right? They've admitted to this. They admitted this is why they charged much heavier when they were criminalizing crack. Now, this isn't an outward call for violence against a specific group. This is political violence, though.
I'd have to disagree with you and say that this is direct violence, as his words in the Southern strategy directly influenced politics, and those politics disenfranchised.
Charlie Kirk's words did directly influence politics. He was fucking. Did you see how close he was with fucking Donald Trump? He was fucking paramount in getting Trump elected in his second term. Charlie Kirk was paramount in getting a lot of conservative politicians elected. Like conservatives, I will say this about conservatives, more than the right, more than the left. The right is really good about media presence. The right has been really good about getting conservative voices in media to help brand and get their, like, there's a reason Ben Shapiro receives a shit ton of money from Peter Thiel, right? There's a reason Kirk's media empire, TPUSA, received a fuck ton of money from multi-million dollar conservatives, right? Because they use these people, Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, all of these people, they use them to help normalize their politics. What do you think works better? A Donald Trump coming in and saying something on national TV, or Charlie Kirk going up against college kids and making them look dumb by saying factually incorrect things, so then he looks like the right one in the conversation, and those clips go viral and get millions of views. Right? People are seeing that way more than they're watching a Donald Trump press conference. The media and influencers like Kirk, Shapiro, all these other people who are political influencers, they are a tool of the state to engage in violence, right? They're a tool of the state. Hell, they're such a tool of the state that JD Vance hosted Kirk's show after he was killed. The vice president hosted one of the largest political shows on the internet. This is state-run media at that point. So that's my stance on that.
Yeah. Even then, I would have to say that, like, Charlie Kirk influencing people to vote for Donald Trump is more democratic than Lee Atwater in his sudden tragedy of basically he was just an advisor, and he was directly responsible for
that's because Kirk is not the advisor part of that party. That would be Peter Thiel. Right? Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and Curtis Yarvin. They were the advisor parts of this party. Kirk was the media part, but he was still a part of this. Like, whatever you want to say, it's so crazy to me that the right believes in all of these conspiracy theories, that everything's interconnected and there's a deep state, when there is a literal deep state in their party they don't give a shit about. Peter Thiel, Curtis Yarvin have admitted outwardly that they want to end democracy. They don't think democracy is working. They want the democratic process destroyed, and they want to set up the United States like it's a corporation with a CEO on the top who has no accountability to the people. They've said this. They've openly said this hundreds of times. And they, along with Musk, have been the ones influencing to get Trump into office. The only reason JD Vance is Donald Trump's running mate is because Peter Thiel himself brought JD Vance to Mar-a-Lago and convinced JD Vance to change his mind on all that Trump is Hitler stuff. That's the only reason. So it's just crazy to me that there is this entire deep state going on, and the party that hates the deep state is just ignoring it. The right is full of hypocritical stuff. It just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to go, but I will say one last thing before I leave. Okay. We cannot let this distract us from the real enemies. The rich, the poor, and the middle class can't let this divide us.
Who's the real enemy?
Who's the real enemy? Mm-hmm. The left and the right, they don't mean anything at the end of the day.
Who is the real enemy then?
The real enemy? It's the people in power. The politicians, they're all
the right?
They're all in it. Huh?
So the right is in power right now.
The left and the right are two sides of the same coin.
What coin?
On politics, they're all funded by one person.
This motherfucker's going to say the Jews. This motherfucker is going to say the Jews. God damn, there's no way. What's the what group?
I'm not going to say it here.
Yeah, okay. We don't need the anti-Semitism today. Can't believe this motherfucker was going to end with fucking anti-Semitism. It's all the Jews, guys! Fucking get the fuck out of here. No, I told you who it is. It's Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and Curtis Yarvin. That's who's the real enemy. Those three people are the real enemies right now. You guys did not see that anti-Semitism coming? That's crazy. I did not see that coming either. Anyway, if more people want to try to defend the right on this, I'm more than happy to have you call in. If you are enjoying the show, if you're enjoying what I'm talking about here, if you like what we've got going on, consider tipping. Tips are always appreciated, never required. It does help me go to create more content for you guys and continue to put out stuff that you might enjoy. If you want to debate me, I'm going to open the call line soon. The way that you debate is you just call in. First come, first serve on the calls. And that's how we do the calls on this stream. I need to quickly go turn my AC down a little bit. It's hot as fuck in my room. Give me like 1 second to go turn the AC down a little bit.
Thank you, Boo.
Okay. I also got some lunch because I've been streaming for 2.5 hours and don't know when the next time I'm going to get a chance to eat is. So I also got me some lunch. I need like a little tray table because I don't have space on my desk anymore. Okay, I'm just going to go through the debate list one more time so you guys can know what we are talking about today. Topic number 1, trans men and women, armed men and women. Topic number 2, gender affirming care for minors. Topic number 3, the Christian God is evil and not real. Topic number 4, MAGA and Trump are terrible. Topic number 5, pro-choice. And topic number 6, the right's hypocrisy on Charlie Kirk. On Charlie Kirk's death is an embarrassment. Those are the topics. So yeah. Started streaming 69 minutes ago. Fool, I'm on multiple platforms. I've been streaming on Twitch since like 10 o'clock. That's embarrassing for you. Please. Okay. Call in line is open. First come, first serve. How do you continue on with that after like a conversation like that? I don't know, man. I just keep going. You just keep chugging along, right? Hello, are you here to debate?
Hello?
Hello, you here to debate?
Yeah,
Barely. You're cutting out a little bit.
can you hear me any better now?
Sounds about the same.
Fuck. Okay. Hello?
Yeah. Can you I mean, it sounds okay. Are you like using a Bluetooth or something?
Yeah, I have my AirPods.
Okay, that's why it's the sound of the AirPods.
Oh, well, hold on. I can just use the normal phone. Okay, how about that?
Much better.
Okay.
Can I just get your name, age, and pronouns, please?
Yep. Sam, 22. You can use whatever pronouns you want.
Okay. Sam, what topic on the board were you calling to debate about?
I just, that last phone call was unbelievable. Cannot, that was crazy at the end there. But I guess I want to talk about Charlie Kirk. I mean, that seems to be what everyone's calling in about.
Okay. Did you disagree with the statement I have on the board?
So you're saying that the right is hypocritical because of everything you just pointed out in that last phone call.
Yep.
Would you say that the left is at all hypocritical about their stances on Kirk, particularly about advocacy for ending gun violence?
Well, they called for the end of gun violence after Kirk was shot. So where would the hypocrisy be?
Oh, well, just with your defense of people who celebrate his death. Like you said, you wouldn't complain if someone was happy of it because his rhetoric negatively affected them, right?
Yeah, but when I'm talking about like the right and left's hypocrisy, I'm going to be looking at like predominant figures in the group. And almost every predominant figure on the left called for an end to gun violence when Kirk was shot. They said this is a gun violence issue and we should end this.
Like public-facing figures, not like
because I can't. I individually, the left and the right aren't monoliths, so I can't like look at what like individuals are saying and use that as a guise for what the parties believe or what the political movements believe. You know.
Okay. Well, just be honest, man. Do you think he deserved it?
Do I think he deserved it? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a judge, jury, or executioner. I don't know.
You know what? That's a fair answer. You know, based on that last phone call, I don't think there's too much we disagree on since you explained that. Appreciate you picking up the phone, man.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Have a nice day.
You too. I wonder if I can. I think I can. Oh, sick. I set that to a button now, so I don't have to manually change it. I can just press this button and change that. Nice. Okay, sweet. I'll open the call-in line back open. I'm just eating pizza. I have like a couple slices left from this pie I ordered like 2 days ago. Hello, are you here to debate?
Hi, Mr. Jovan.
Hi, are you here to debate?
Hello. Well, actually, I remembered the question that I wanted to ask you from our last call.
Okay, what's your name and your age and your pronouns? I don't.
JT19, he, him.
Okay. What was the question?
So, God damn it. So, I remember that last time I checked, you still don't like cops and the police system in general, right?
Yep.
Okay. What about like individual police? Like, what would you opinion be on like specific police officers?
Those individual officers uphold a larger system of violence. So I think that while they work for a system that harms marginalized and poor people, they are a part of the overall problem.
Yeah, because I wanted to know what your opinion was on Grady Judd, a sheriff that a lot of people talk about around me, and I hear them praise him all the time. I want to know, is he like genuinely good, or is this just like a glazing thing that people are doing?
I don't know anything about him, so I couldn't make a claim about him on a personal level. However, said Grady Judge. Oh my God, he's in my county.
Yeah.
He's from my county. Yeah, I don't know anything about him. So, I mean, he works for sheriff's office. So, I mean, he is a part of the larger problem, but I don't know anything about him. I don't know about him, what he's done personally, things like that.
Okay, well, goddamn, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. All right, well, thank you for answering that, because I was just trying to get like an idea about him, because like everybody around me, or mainly my parents,
Around us,
talk about
I
how
guess.
great he is and whatnot, and I'm not sure if this is like a genuine thing or what.
I don't know. I mean, I can look into it and have an answer at some point, but given that I don't know anything about it, I don't like to make claims about things that I, haven't done my research on.
All right.
Was there anything else?
Damn, every time I call in, I end up forgetting something to ask.
It's all good.
Fucking hell. Let's see. This, I am not good at this.
It's really chill, bro. I promise you. I promise. Nobody's judging you.
Yeah, nah, chat's saying write shit down. I should probably do that. Well, the only other thing...
Thank you, Boo.
The only other thing I gotta say, rest in peace, Haru Ura. You will be missed.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
All right. Racing horse.
Okay.
Yeah, died like the day before Charlie Kirk.
Oh, all right.
All right.
No problem, JT.
All right. Yeah. One more thing. Did you ever watch the show that I recommended you, Hunter, the Parenting?
No, I didn't get a chance to get around to it yet. It's on my list of like recommended shows.
Yeah. I think after I called you in, they released a new side episode featuring one of my favorite characters. If you watch that, I think you will really enjoy the character a lot.
Okay. I might get around to it at some point. I got a long list of shit I got to get through.
Yeah, I know. I actually finished watching Don recently. Gotta wait for that finale episode to drop.
Mm-hmm. Good show. A little pervy, but good show.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
All right. No problem. Let me just finish this last little bit of pizza. What is this horse name? Am I missing a joke? Currently, do you ever try Chicago pizza? Yeah, I don't like it. Currently, I'm watching Undead Unluck. And I'm rewatching Steven Universe, which is, my favorite show of all time. It's a horse racing game, but the horses are anime girls. That's funny. Okay, we're good now. Gonna open up the call-in line. How long have we been streaming at this point? I mean, I came on at like, what, 10? Hello, are you here to debate?
Have you watched Infinity Train?
Yes, and I'll never forgive Warner Brothers for taking it off of HBO Max.
True. All right, you have a good day.
You too. Hello, are you here to debate?
Hi. No, I just had a couple questions.
Okay. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns first?
Yes. Nico, 25, he, him.
Okay, Nico, what did you want to ask questions about?
So, I really respect your show. Been watching you for the past, couple months, and you're huge inspiration already. And wondering, how you do your research. I went to school, but college was not for me. But I still like to educate myself, and then especially on communism, I really want to learn more about it. Actually, after watching a couple of your videos on that, I really just want to know how you do research for things, and maybe it's my ADHD or whatever. It's so hard. I don't like reading. I watch a lot of YouTube, but I want to change that as well.
So two tools that I think are incredibly helpful. One is Google Scholar. Two is a text reader for Google Chrome. Or whatever your internet browser is. Yep. So let's say I'm clicking on a very large source, and I'm because I have an issue with reading as well, where it will just take me a long time. It's not like I have any reading issues where I get confused. I get off track very easily, and my brain will start thinking about something else. So I'll read half a page and be like, I don't know what the fuck I just read. I was thinking about fucking gumballs the whole time.
Read that shit 6 times.
So I'm a lot better when I'm having the information read to me and I can follow along. So like get a screen reader that can read the text for you. That's a really good way to help. A text reader really helps with stuff like that. I found sometimes too that like reading physical books also can help me focus a little bit more. Because I guess my brain just goes into a different mode. And then audiobooks and stuff like that. Some good resources for stuff to read. Like, let's say you're somebody who, like you said, you really want to learn more about communism, more about socialism, more about just leftist things in general. Verso books and Haymarket books. I'm not sponsored, but God, do I wish I was. Verso books and Haymarket books are leftist publishing houses. Each of them have book clubs where you can pay $10 a month and you get access to a large catalog of monthly ebooks. So like, for instance, if I go to Verso for this month, I haven't downloaded my books this month, but if I go to Verso's book club in September, the books that they are offering this month are, let me show my source so people can see. How Will Capitalism End? Crude Capitalism, The Making of Global Capitalism, Tokens, Amateur, How We Built Internet Culture and Why It Matters, A Social History of Rent, and Extractive Capitalism. You get all of those books as ebooks for $10 a month. And you get to keep those forever. So you download those books, those are yours to have, and then next month you're going to have a new catalog of books. So like invaluable resource.
Are they online books as well? So I can use the e-reader.
You can use whatever e-reader you want. They just send you they let you download the I think it's a pub file is the ebook file. So you just download the file and you can put it in. Like I have an iPad, so they just go right on to Apple's e-reader. They can go onto a Kindle, they can go onto a Fire tablet, whatever you got.
All right. And the only other thing, I'm like the last guy, I kind of forgot. The only other thing I feel was that just wanted to point out, like, I appreciate you so much, like, as I said before, like, I'm a black man. I don't usually see a lot of other black YouTubers who are educated, who are leftists. So I just really appreciate what you do. I like, low-key, I love debating too. I low-key kind of want to see if I can, like, getting into the game. I'm scared of this political moment, but want to let that me back for real.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure shit out though. But yeah, you're just a huge inspiration. I want you to know, like, where you are to this information, especially like I said with the communism shit. I don't see anyone that is coherent about like it would look like. I guess my other question to piggyback off of Guy, how do you think police, if we abolish police and lived a communist system, how would we police things? Just through like community?
Yeah, so when we say that we want to abolish police and prisons, we're not saying we want to get rid of like public safety services and things like that. We're saying the current system of policing and prisons are set up to operate under a retributive model of justice. It's a carceral and retributive model. So we want to move away from this to a model that focuses on transformative and restorative justice. And we want to abolish the police and prisons in that sense. You can still have a system that functions essentially the same as police, but if the goal is for rehabilitation and transformative justice, then I would argue you don't have police. Police are specifically a tool of the state used to maintain state capital. So once police leave this realm, I wouldn't call them police at that point. You still may, because it's like a colloquial term that we don't really have another for it, but I wouldn't call them police. I'd say they're now created for a completely different function. They're operating in a different way. So I would say there's something else, but this is what we mean when we say that we want to abolish police and abolish prison.
We run our prisons, not just people like box, cage, and whatever. And so like educating them on how to actually function in a society and whatever, do whatever they did.
Well, yeah, right now our prison systems function just to hold people. They literally have no other purpose. It's just a place to hold people as punishment for a crime. And this doesn't work. Yeah. We know it doesn't work. We can just look at our recidivism rates to show that this literally doesn't work. What lowers recidivism is rehabilitative care. So the goal of prisons should be to make it so that somebody who goes in here doesn't get out and continue to engage in the same type of actions, whether they be violent or economic actions, like whatever they might be. So what we need to be doing is we need to be focusing on that rehabilitative care so we can actually lower recidivism rates, thus lowering the rates of crime, thus increasing the rates of just overall community betterment.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Go. That was all I had to say to you.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for the call. Yep.
Have a good one.
See you later.
Somebody asked via super chat. They said, what was your post-secondary degree or degrees in? I'm a graduate student in sociology, and my sociology radar is beeping on you. I did 1 semester of college, 1.5. I was sitting in an educational psychology class in my 2nd semester, and I got bored, so I walked out, and I never went back. So that's about as far as I went in education. Like the last caller, I don't learn that way. I don't really learn in a classroom setting. I need to be able to just like sit down and learn stuff on my own. It's just the way I learn. Did you do debate in high school? Nope. I did mock trial once and hated it. But no, I did not do debate in high school. If I could go back in time, probably would. If I could go back in time, I'd probably go to school for like some poli-sci / economics thing. But Cause right, and don't follow my track. I think you should, if you can, go to secondary education. You know, I think you should if you can. Right? My life probably would have been a lot easier had I had a college degree. I mean, not everybody can luck into a job that they love and want to do when they're fucking 30 like I did. Or I would go back to school for theater. That's probably what I would do. Like if there was a thing, I probably would actually go to a performing arts college, because that is my first love. It's just something that I haven't done in a while since I moved. I need to get back into theater so bad, bruh. When I did mock trial, I was one of the witnesses, and I was like, this sucks. Because they should have made it more improv-y. It wasn't as improv-y as it should have been. I should have been able to be like, yo, you're out of order. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even remember the thing that got my content. I don't remember what got my stuff to blow up in the first place. I mean, it was like years ago when I used to debate on TikTok is where I started getting a following. And now I just do my things. As a reminder, guys, we will have a guest on Friday. Forrest will be here to debate with me. So if you want to debate evolution or religion or anything that you would need a biologist for, Forrest will be here for that on Friday. You guys get a Jovan Forrest stream on Friday. Call lines are open. You a TTRPG guy? No, I've yet to meet someone that can make Dungeons and Dragons fun for me. You know what I would love? If you are a DM and you or somebody can create for me a My Hero Academia based TTRPG, whatever, fucking I'll be there day one. I even have my hero power ready to go. Hello, are you here to debate?
Hi, yes, I am.
Okay. Can I just get your name, age, and pronouns, please?
Yeah. My name is Jacob, 28, and pronouns are he, him.
Okay. Jacob, 28. He, him. Okay, Jacob, what topic on the board did you want to debate about?
I had a question and a counter to one of your arguments for the first topic, trans men, women, or men or women.
Okay. What was your question first?
So the question is, how do you, I know you've said this a bunch of times because I've watched your show before, but you have a specific question that involves the word schema regarding your definition of men or women. Can you just reiterate that?
Yeah, it's when I define man or woman, I just say it's an adult human whose gender identity aligns with their personal schema on the female sex or the male sex.
Okay, and can you define schema?
Yeah. Schema is just, wait, let me just pull up my actual my actual definition that I use in my glossary. Schema is a cognitive framework or concept that helps organize and interpret information. So it's just the way that our brains interpret and organize all the things we see or engage with.
Okay, so as that would apply to men or women, then it would just be like the framework the framework with which somebody interprets what it means to be a man or a woman. You'd say that's a pretty, I guess that would necessarily make it an individual sort of concept for each individual person.
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense. I just feel like I maybe haven't heard it explained just like outright enough. So I'll definitely chew on that. I'm definitely on the side of trans men are men or are women, but I wanted to get a clarification on that. And I also wanted to, as I said previously, go to one of your arguments that I actually feel like I need to criticize because I can't find a way around it. If that's okay.
Just you said you're on the side that trans men are men or that trans men are women?
Trans men are men, trans women are women.
Okay. Sure. What's the argument that you wanted to criticize?
So it's this argument about a necessary condition. Somebody in one of your comments posed a couple of weeks back this idea that a necessary condition that somebody who was a transphobe could come up with is the idea that a man or a woman can have the necessary condition of fulfilling at least 2 or 3 of maybe a couple of different qualities. And then the necessary condition would be like for example, the example that they give is like the necessary condition can have 2 of the following 3 criteria: have XX chromosomes, have at least 1 female reproductive organ, have at least 1 female secondary sex characteristic.
Okay. I would probably reject it. Well, first of all, if you're saying the necessary condition is having, it sounds more like they're describing a sufficient condition than a necessary, because they're saying you can have one of a list of things and that puts you in. But if we're saying the necessary is you must possess 2 of the 3 of these, I think you probably would still find people that don't have those. Like, if you have somebody who doesn't have XX chromosomes and doesn't have a female reproductive system, they only have female secondary sex characteristics, what would they be? Like somebody who has Swyer syndrome, possibly. What if somebody has like Swyer syndrome and vaginal agenesis, right? They would have XY chromosomes, and then they may not possess a female reproductive system, but they would still be female.
Based on the fact that they have secondary sex characteristics?
Well, I mean, female is based on a lot of different things. So the necessary condition argument is not an argument I use to support my arguments. It's a counter argument to like biological essentialism. Like, I don't necessarily think is a necessary condition to be female. I think there are sufficient conditions for just which is the same way that I think like most scientific classification operates under, are more sufficient than necessary. So I don't or if I'm going to put like a real necessary condition on gender, it would be your internal gender identity. But if we're just talking about sex, like how do you classify female versus male? I'd agree that there is some like sufficient condition that you can meet to meet those categories. But I'm not sure we have a necessary for those things because of how varied human sexual development is.
Yeah, and to be honest, like I did do like a huge like deep dive into the sort of like different I don't know what the correct word is, like different like Spire syndrome, that sort of thing, like these different conditions that are very rare, just to like see like what combinations do exist. I think the idea is that they're actually not defining with sufficient conditions. It would be the necessary condition. Like I guess like the example that I think of to like a different example is like you go down to the DMV and you fill out an application and they ask you for 2 types of identification, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like your passport or your driver's license, or like you bring in like, or even like applying for a job, I guess is probably like a better example, where they ask you for like 2 types of identification, but you can sort of like pick and choose what those 2 types are, and as long as you have like at least 2 of those types, then you fulfill the necessary condition that is sort of again, like I'm sort of losing the words for it, but it's sort of like an arch necessary condition that is fulfilled. You understand what I mean?
Kind of. I mean, we have 5 different sex attributes that we usually go off of. It's chromosomes. I looked it up, so I made sure I had the right ones. It's gonads. It's hormonal sex, so hormone production. It's internal reproductive system, and then it's external genitalia. These are our 5, like when we're looking in biology, these are the 5 things that we look at when we're looking at sex. But again, I would say if you possess a mix of these, it just feels like we're saying that these are sufficient, not required. Because it would depend. We then get into this weird gap of like, well, how much is required? How much variation is allowed to exist? I don't know. It's really hard when we try to make a category exclusionary that doesn't have this clear-cut line in the sand, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like probably I don't know how necessary this is for like just like the logic of the argument itself, but like probably because like the idea, like if you step back from it, the idea is that people who make this argument, it's like they're kind of operating of, I think if we were to blow it up enough, they're kind of operating off of the idea of like a woman, because of course it's always a woman. Like a woman is somebody, you know it when you see it more or less, and you have like specific expectations for like qualities that they have, and they're willing to sort of bend back and forth as soon as like, oh, they don't have this, but they have this. So I think it would be like, so to me, that would make it seem like it would be very easy to be like, you have at least 2 of these things, or you have at least 3 of these things, and maybe you could structure it in such a way that you'd always be able to exclude trans people somehow. And my idea is from there is like, if that was possible, then you sort of just have to be like, okay, we have 2 different definitions that are logically valid, and we just sort of have to make the case for why one is better or more useful.
Well, what I always say is if somebody comes up to me and they say like, hey, I'm a man or I'm a woman, and I go, okay, what makes you a man or a woman? And they go, well, I have XX chromosomes. I'm a woman and I have XX chromosomes, and that means I'm a woman. I'm like, okay, sure, yeah. Because that's what your schema is telling you. Your internal schema connects womanhood with your XX chromosomes. That's what connects your gender identity to your sex. Totally valid.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine. And I think it's okay to even say, like you said, if we have definitions, a woman is an adult human female and or somebody with a gender identity that aligns with the social role or attributes that females possess in any given society. I think both of those things are okay.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, and for the most part, I totally agree. I was just sort of concerned about like the validity of said definitions and like whether like this would sort of like get to the point where it's sort of just like, again, which definition is more useful broadly for society.
I think as long as trans people exist, and a definition that encompasses them is the most useful, because it encompasses all of what the word actually is. Whereas leaving them out is literally saying, hey, we're going to talk about everything but this other thing that would fall in line with. I think that's an incredibly unuseful definition.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm definitely going to be thinking a lot more about this. I just wanted to pick your brain on this because I felt like there was sort of a impasse or a criticism to be made there. And I just wanted to get your initial thoughts on it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Awesome. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, that was loud as fuck. Not many debates today. Not a lot of the transphobes willing to call in, governor. Sorry, that was terrible. I'll go fucking see myself out now. I wasn't ready, but okay. Didn't even wait for the... hello, are you here to debate?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name, age, and pronouns?
My name is Rob. I'm 35. He, him.
Okay.
And I'm here to, let's say debate, but I really want to talk about MAGA and Trump are terrible.
Okay, what about it?
So something that a couple callers had brought up, and you didn't really like talk about too much, so I was wondering if you would kind of address it, is this idea that if someone is joking, they can't also be telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So like, before Trump got elected, he was like, oh, we're going to make Gaza the new resort. And they're like, oh, he's just joking. You know, it's just, they say these horrendous things, and it's like, oh, he's just joking, so they walk it back. And I was wondering if you could kind of address that to some degree.
Yeah, sure. I think there's very clear lines in the sand for a lot of things, right? I think some things are very clearly jokes, and some things are just using humor to sort of spread hate or things like that. Like, I think we could all agree that like when just to give an example, when white people did minstrel shows, they were obviously doing jokes and joking and stuff like that. That didn't make them not harmful, right?
Right.
So jokes can hold truths about our internal biases. Like, I make 9/11 jokes, right? Obviously, I don't think 9/11 was a good thing. I just think the jokes are sometimes pretty funny. I think there's a difference as well when you look at like your seat of power when it comes to jokes. So I think somebody who's in like a unilateral seat of power probably shouldn't make certain jokes because you are at a seat of, so like a president shouldn't make jokes about like bombing a US city.
Right.
I just don't think that at that point, like you're in a different position. It just like, I think it's okay to make jokes that punch up, but it's not okay to make jokes that punch down. Like if you can't make a joke without punching down, I think you're a bad comedian. Right. I just think you're not that funny. I think other people are probably funnier than you. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think there's truth to some jokes. Like, do I think Nancy Mace actually wanted all immigrants at Alligator Alcatraz to get eaten by alligators? Probably not. But she sits in a seat of political power with influence. So when she makes a joke like that, it's normalizing that level of political violence throughout her base, which is, I think, a problem.
Well, and it also indicates that she wouldn't be upset if at least some people got eaten by alligators.
Yeah.
Right.
She probably wouldn't be. No.
And, right. And I bring it up because, especially with everything happening with the Charlie Kirk and all that, it's like, you see a lot of people who are like, they're like going after them because they also made jokes. So it kind of ties into the hypocrisy debate where it's like, if the left makes jokes, it's tragic, it's out of line. You know, if Trump or somebody else says these horrendous things that do give us a little bit of a peek into their intentions, that's a joke and that should be dismissed. It's just kind of an interesting juggling match, let's say, between the two.
I think it's also, there's just something to be said about like, listen, I think the right doesn't know how to make jokes 9 times out of 10. Like the other problem is sometimes the joke is just, look how dumb this political group is or this identity group is. That's the whole joke. And it's just like, it's boring. Like, listen, I think that there are some funny black jokes. Okay. I think there's some fucking hilarious ones. But most of the time when a racist comedian or something makes a black joke, I'm like, you're not clever. Like, you're not making a good joke. Like, where's the humor? Like, where's the funny? If it's just like, oh, it's funny. Look, black people steal things. Isn't that funny? I'm like, no, you're fucking lazy as shit. Dog. Get better at telling jokes.
Right. No, that's just racism, you know, is all that is. And it's like racist rants, especially, like, it seems some people think louder is funnier kind of a thing. So loud racist rants, that's not incredibly funny. And I say that because there's like a lot of kind of right-leaning stand-up comedians and things like that, you know, who kind of has-beens at this point, but it's just like you see some of their current stand-up and it's just like, wow, you're just being racist. That's all you're doing right now. It's just like loud Facebook comments, but on like a stage. And that also kind of makes me want to say there's probably spots where it's like things are clearly a joke and there's other places where it's not so clear it's a joke, right? So like Trump, for example, if he's meeting with a world leader and he says some unhinged shit, it's a little tougher to write that off as a joke as versus like somebody on X or somebody, a stand-up comedian or, you know, a content creator or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
If like Trump says something deadpan and like looks at the camera, it's like, that doesn't seem like a joke to me a lot of the time, you know, that's him just being genuine. So I don't know. It frustrates me when people just kind of, because I feel like they've been doing that the whole time, like for Trump. So as far back as, you know, grab him by the pussy, it's like, oh, that's just locker room talk. And it's like, no, that's not. Like, I've been in a lot of locker rooms. I never talk like that.
Yeah, I've never joked about sexually assaulting somebody when I talk to my male friends.
Yeah, yeah.
I won't lie that some of my male friends have made jokes that way, which have been like, ooh, but I'm not friends with those people anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's something that is like funny before you realize what like that kind of stuff actually means.
It's just edgy. I mean, let's just keep it real. There's a large group of people who just think it's funny to do 4chan humor, to rage bait. They think the funniest thing in the world to them is saying the edgiest thing on the planet. And like, hey, look, I probably thought that way too when I was fucking 16. But as I got older, I was like, oh, what's the joke? The joke is I was edgy. That's the whole joke. Like, the joke is I made people angry. That's the entirety of the joke. And I think I think it can be funny to rage bait in certain instances. Like when I rage bait people that birds are not dinosaurs, I think that's fucking hilarious. Because it's a topic that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't mean anything. So it's kind of funny to watch people get like so angry. But when people are like, look at me rage baiting trans people because I'm pissing them off, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, trans people really experience harm from shit like this.
Right.
So it's not as funny when I tell people birds aren't real. That's funny because that doesn't hurt a single human being. So one of the best ways I can describe it is look how much better Bo Burnham's comedy is now than when he was younger. And it's because he's grown up. And his humor has evolved, and he's able to make jokes that are much more nuanced and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and, you know, there's a difference between rage baiting and just saying slurs, right? Like, that's another thing that I think is there's some confusion with. Like, I know this guy who's fucking off the deep end, right? And he just says, like, calls people F-slur and N-slur and stuff like that. And it's like, you talk to other people and it's like, oh, he's just trying to push buttons. And it's like, nah, man, that's like, he's just being racist and like, yeah, it's especially to groups that are marginalized and whatever. And it's like, that's not pushing buttons. That's not rage baiting. That's just, you know, white supremacist behavior kind of stuff, you know, like you need to call it what it is, you know. And I think that's one of the biggest disconnects that people have is it's like, it's so easy to dismiss something whenever it's like on your side or whatever, but there's no extension to the other, you know. It's just bad faith all the way.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. That's all I wanted to talk about. But thank you for your time, sir.
No problem. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
I'm a special kind of white guy. Like, there we go. This is why I like Bo Burnham. It's because he like can recognize his own bullshit. I self-reflected and I'm an agent of change. Bro, somebody posted that part of that song. Captioned it with Dean. And I fucking lost it, dude. Maybe I should just shut the fuck up. No. Healing the world with comedy. So good. Yo, Bo Burnham is so goated. Goated. Do you think skill/performance-based school sports divisions instead of gender-based would work or potentially be accepted? I don't like that we tie. I think school sports are fine. I don't think sports should be tied into whether you get a spot in a college. That's so fucking dystopian that we give kids an educational advantage because they can throw a ball farther. That's some Hunger Games level shit. Personally, I think school sports would be fine if like all kids have access to higher education. Do you fuck with empty signifier? 100%. 100%. I talked to him once in like an Instagram comment about nothing. I didn't get a chance to. I would love if anybody ever watches FD Signifier stream or whatever, tell him Jovan Bradley wants to collab. I would love to collab with that guy. He's a fucking genius. Love that man's brain. His most recent video goes hard as fuck. If you haven't watched his most recent video, I don't like to watch video from like video essays on stream and stuff because like I would rather you go and give the view to them. But his most recent video, go hard as fuck, bro. This one, the 4 types of black villains. Yo, I loved that shit, dog. Healing the world with comedy. Fuck, someone get FD Signifier to do my blackface video with me. That would be so sick if I could get him to collab on my tier my ranking sitcom blackface episodes. God, I need to just sit down and write that video. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight. Maybe I'll just give myself an hour so I can sit down and finish writing the video. I've wanted to make a video about sinners in relation to music. I just don't think there's anything I could say that hasn't already been said yet about it. Healing the world with comedy. The simple narrative taught in every history classes. How many black superheroes don't have lightning powers? Oh shit! I wonder how many I can name. Okay, let's see. Can Jovan name black superhero? Okay, so you got Green Lantern, John Stewart, doesn't have lightning powers. You have Spawn, not lightning powers. He put my YouTube up on his stream yesterday. Oh shit, that's kind of cool. Do you also watch Turb? No, I actually don't know who that is. How do you say sane and all of this stuff? The guy sliding insanity is crazy to me. I don't know, man. I just have a long fuse. Okay, Green Lantern, Spawn, Cyborg. Does Cyborg count? Cyborg shouldn't count. He doesn't have electric powers. I don't think Storm should count either. Storm doesn't technically have electric powers. She has weather powers. Black Panther, Falcon. Does Martian Manhunter count as black? Piccolo. Storm does not have electric powers. Storm has weather powers. It just so happens that electricity is part of weather, right? Storm does not count. Does Miles Morales count? No, I would say Miles Morales shouldn't count, but probably does. Luke Cage doesn't have electric powers. Cloak. I don't really like Cloak though. It's like he doesn't do anything for me as a character. Sinners was disappointing is the most gaslighty thing to ever say to me. Sinners is my favorite movie of 2024. No movie even comes close to how good Sinners was. Or 2025. Sinners came out this year. There's not been a single movie that I've seen that's come even close to how Sinners made me feel. I'm starting to get a headache. Oh, Blade. Yeah. Yeah, you can count Blade. What about Joe Henry? I'm funny. War Machine, Steel, good picks. The vampire storyline was pointless. The vampire storyline is entirely the point of the movie. The movie's about assimilation. And the vampires, like, are a direct analogy for assimilation.
Thank you, Boo.
Like, I mean, if you just say that you missed the point of the movie. Hancock? Oh, I didn't know we were counting Hancock. Or is it just a white woman? A white woman's Instagram. Do you mean the plot of the movie? Dude, Sinners went so unbelievably hard. So I live like it's the last time. Ugh. I haven't watched a full Star Kid show in like fucking 10 years. Someone said A-Train. I watched like the first 3 episodes of Lovecraft County and then like fell off. I probably should rewatch that at some point. Oh, shit. What type is Swinub? It is kicking my Charizard's ass. Oh, ice. Shouldn't my Charizard be? Yeah, there it goes. I was gonna say, shouldn't my Charizard be like kicking its ass if it's an ice type and he's a fire type? I'm a special kind of way guy. I guess we're not getting no more debates. Are we all debated out here, chat? Did I run through all the conservatives today? We got like one debate all day. And even then, it wasn't really a debate. It was... Twitch, how long have I been streaming? Raven, thank you for the tip on Venmo. Said Sinners is an objectively phenomenal movie. I will unalive anyone on this hill. Crazy. What? What the fuck? Why did my Pokemon Go character become white all of a sudden? What's happening? Why is he a white man now? I'm so confused. This better be a debate. Hello, are you here to debate?
Not entirely. Sorry to add to the lack of debates today.
All right. Well, what's your name, age, and pronouns?
This is the bearded IT guy. They, them, man? 36. I wanted to know if you had, like, seen any of the stuff because of how horrible Utah is right now. The stuff that the governor's been doing to push a narrative without actually showing all the facts.
No. What? I have not seen any of this.
So when it first came out that the shooter's roommate was actually a partner, they have not released anything to really corroborate that. And the roommate's social media contradicts it.
Yeah, I know that the roommate
is making the claims
on the roommate's like TikTok, on his like actual TikTok. He links to his Instagram where he's like, not a they them, not a it, not any of these. Wasn't dating the guy, blah blah blah. So it would appear that they are just running with claims with like zero evidence on their face, you know.
Oh yeah. And the governor has been in multiple interviews where people are trying to get him to clarify or say anything more than vague stuff saying, oh, well, we have evidence that says he's on the left. And anytime anyone asks him about it, he dodges the question and then just goes on to more vague stuff. So it seems very much that he's trying to push a certain narrative. And I wanted to see if you had seen that stuff yet.
Yeah, I haven't like looked it up directly, but I'll find out if producer Steve is if we're gonna cover any of that on the dump this week.
Yeah, that was the main reason I was hoping, because I kind of wanted to see more coverage of it, just because I live in Utah, and as someone who's non-binary, it's kind of horrifying.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. I missed it. Did anybody on Twitch tell me how long I've been live for? Getting a bit of a headache. I don't know if I should. 2:48. Oh my god. I feel like I've been live for so much longer. Hello, are you here to debate?
Unfortunately not. I just had a question I wanted to ask.
Okay. What's your name, age, and pronouns?
My name is Robert. I'm 22 and I use he, him.
Okay. What were your questions, Robert?
Well, personally, I definitely agree with your thoughts on Sinners. I love the movie. I was just wondering what you thought about the the Sinners, I guess, extended universe that they're planning.
Stupid.
What direction do you think they're going to
Dumb.
go with the sequels and stuff?
Don't. That's my response. Don't. Let Sinners exist as a perfect 10 out of 10 movie and do nothing else with that universe. Although, wait, let me rephrase. Let me take it back. Wait. I take it back.
Okay.
Give me an HBO, give me a max level production budget series on the indigenous vampire hunters. That's what I want.
Ooh,
I don't want to
that
touch
would
any
be
of the
pretty
characters from Sinners, but that would actually go hard as fuck.
I agree. I think if they wanted to do something with the characters in the movie, I'm blanking on their names right now, but and I don't want to spoil it for, I don't know, like the 3 people in chat who haven't seen it, but the ending scene when the main protagonist is all grown up and he's like a accomplished musician, I would love to see some of the stuff during that time of his life, but I agree. I think it's series.
I'm totally set on all of the characters from the movie. I think they all got very, very satisfying arcs. Just give me that limited series on those, and it doesn't even have to, because if you do a limited series on those, you could do so much with like the mythology of creatures versus fucking old indigenous like monster hunters. You could there's so much that could be done with that. Everything else, no, don't do it.
That's fair. Well, sorry again for not being a debate, but I just want to say I'm a big fan of what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think especially nowadays, it's good to have a progressive voice who's as coherent as you and, as meticulous as you are talking to different sorts of people. So I just want to say I appreciate the effort you're putting in.
Well, thank you. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
You too. Hello, are you here to debate?
Not really. I just have a question, if possible.
Okay. What's your name, age, and pronouns?
I'm going to go Zureth, Z-U-R-E-C-H, 34, and they, them.
Okay. And what was your question?
I was just wondering, where can I find more information about, communism, to actually learn about it for real? Because, unfortunately, I live in the South where it's communism bad, it's all the bad. That's about it.
Look up, there is a reading list on, what's the website? Oh, here it is, on Goodreads. It's called the Principled Marxist Reading List.
Principled Marxist Reading List?
Yeah. This is 128 books. I've read through a couple on here, but there are some really good ones. Like the very first books on the list, Black Shirts and Red. I've read that amazing book. Socialism Utopic is a great book. It's gonna have you read Capital. You can skip Capital, honestly. I don't recommend that people who aren't economic students read Capital. It's just so much jargon. But that's where you're gonna get a good list of books. And I always say start there and work your way down. And anytime you read a book, so anytime, for instance, let's say you're reading Black Shirts and Reds, in the margins will be sources of other books that the authors did. Write down all of those sources and get those books too.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, Black Shirts and Red, from the first chapter alone, I got 4 or 5 books on fascism that I'm now burning through.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah.
That's mainly it. All right. Thanks.
All right. No problem. Thanks for calling in.
You have a good day. Bye.
You too. Ugh. Yeah, one day I need to put in my own reading list. I know it. Oh, Corsola doesn't have an evolution. Why did I think Corsola had an evolution? I'm a special kind of way guy. Hello, are you here to debate?
Hi, Jovan. Greetings from Germany.
Hey, what's up?
One second, please. Ja, ich komme gleich. Can you hear me?
You're very quiet.
Oh, fuck. I'm using...
There we go. That fixed it. Oh. Okay. I see that Sam person in the YouTube chats. Looks like Sam's fucking soft. You got to cancel people because they joked about Kirk's death? Soft, bro. I'm not that soft. I don't really give a shit if somebody jokes about somebody else dying. I'm not soft. Soft and a little squishy, bro.
Thank you, Boo.
I mean, that person can go back if they'd like. I don't know why I disconnected. Have I hit my wall? If you have as much caffeine that is in a cup of coffee, right? Should you then be exhausted? Like 4 hours later? Should coffee only last you 4 hours? Honest question. Hello, are you here to debate?
Kind of.
Okay. What's your name, age, or pronouns, please?
29, male. My name is Matt.
Okay, Matt, what are your pronouns?
Oh, he, him. Sorry.
No, no problem.
I don't know why I said male. I feel so sorry for that. That's like my old shtick.
No, you're fine. You're fine. What?
I'm so used to hearing other people say that. I guess.
No, you're good. What were you calling in to talk about?
The Charlie Kirk shenanigans.
Okay, what about it?
Like,
what? Okay. No, I don't do caffeine typically. But I'm starting to get a fucking massive migraine. Little headache. I don't know if it'll turn into a migraine. I think we're gonna call it. We weren't really getting much calls anyway. Shout out if you watched on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on stream. Shout out if you were here on Twitch. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on stream. We will be back tomorrow. And remember, on Friday, we'll be joined by Forrest. So make sure you have all of your debate topics for Friday that you want to call in and debate about, whether it be biology, evolution, religion, all that good stuff. We'll have Forrest here to debate with me on that stuff. I'm going to go take a nap because I'm in nap mode now. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me for the stream today. Thank you, friends. I will see everybody tomorrow. Okay? Goodbye.